Hi, so welcome to this week's tarot talk. So this is the energetic card pull that we do every week. So as always, just give my cards a little shuffle before we start. Hope everyone is keeping well. It's a very grey, gloomy, rainy day where I am up in Lancashire, so that's pretty much standard procedure for us though. So let's just see where we are at this week. So this week we have the Justice card. You can just take a look at that. So the Justice card, pretty much what it says on the tin, it's all about fairness, balance, and things going in the karmic way that they're supposed to do. So whether or not that is always in your favour, it's all about the fairness. Now with this, particularly for this time, I'm just kind of sensing that maybe what we need to be readdressing in our lives as well is that balance. So when we come to this time of the year, it's very often that we are running around frantically. You know, we're coming up to preparing for, you know, the festive celebrations, Christmas, whatever you celebrate. We can get in this danger of burning out and running ourselves down. So we're just going kind of like all out mayhem. And then obviously, you know, we have all the Christmas parties coming up where we're kind of like burning the candle at both ends. So in this case, Justice is just recalling that balance back into your life. So, you know, even though it is the time of having fun, going out, you know, doing more partying, it's also requiring that stillness as well. So rather than every day just going out hell for leather at everything, this card is just kind of like that little message as we're coming up to this season now, of just to make sure of the importance of winding down also. And also if you've got any kind of sticky situations going on in your life at the minute, you know, if you feel unbalanced, if you feel things aren't going your way, things seem a little bit darker, then this is just that little message just to say, you know, that things will work out as they need to. Sometimes we kind of have to go through, you know, these difficult times, these darker times, and when we're like kind of like in that moment, we're kind of like, you know, how can this be for our good? How can this be helping us out? But it's just that little message just to remind you that things will balance out as they need to, and, you know, things can swing around. So, you know, we have the darker side of it and we have the lighter side of it. So it's kind of almost that when we're feeling in despair, you know, the happier times are ahead. It's just literally like the flip of a coin. So let's see what our oracle card comes out as and just see if that correlates with this energy. Okay. And we have the koi fish spirits, and the message we have here is there is always enough. So if we correlate this with the Justice card, you know, when we're looking at the balance, you know, this is that just kind of like that little nudge when we're saying, you know, there is always enough. You know, so if you're absolutely manic at the minute and you're kind of like chasing your tail and you don't feel like there is enough hours in a day, well, that's just your little reminder that there is always enough time. There is enough time to slow down, you know. Things will wait. Sometimes we put too much emphasis on rushing around and getting things done because we feel like we're achieving something and that's being successful. But this is just that nice little reminder of when we're getting a bit swamped under, a bit manic with, you know, everything what's going on. I always look at that as like, you know, there is enough hours in a day. We just need to use them more wisely, you know, rather than trying to cram every single thing in. just, you know what, space it out. It'll wait. You know, most things are, we give ourselves these imaginary deadlines that we have to kind of like stick to. So just remember, there's always enough hours in a day, you've always got enough time, things can wait. And you know, and again, if it's kind of like a financial aspect that you're looking at things, then you know, don't feel like you have to be spending what you've not got at the moment, because later down the line there will be enough. So you know, things can wait. So just that kind of little thing, just to, you know, just kind of de-stress yourself on things. Don't put too much emphasis on, you know, trying to impress and kind of like, I don't know, feeling like you need to do better all the time, because you know what, the thing what people probably appreciate most is just spending that time with you, not what you can provide. Okay, so that is the message for this week. So I hope you have a lovely rest of your week. Take care of yourself, and remember just to listen to those messages of those cards and just take time out, stop rushing around, and just let everything happen as it's meant to. I'll see you later. Take care.